metabolism first, okay? So your metabolism is the series of chemical processes in your body that turns food into fuel to keep you alive. That's what metabolism is. Like, how is it processing all the food to help you turn it into energy and fuel, okay? So the first thing about metabolism is understanding basal metabolism. You might hear this a lot, but basal metabolism is how much energy you burn while you are doing nothing. So if you were just lying there, how much does your body actually burn at rest is your basal metabolism. And you might have heard that your basal metabolism is actually what keeps you alive, but you really want to be careful not to play with where your basal metabolism too much. And if you go too low, you can really cause some havoc on it. And I'm going to address this, but basal metabolism, what keeps you alive. So I don't know if you know, but the body's major organs, so heart, kidney, liver, brain, the major organs, take up 50% of your basal metabolism, meaning it takes up 50% of what your body needs to survive, okay? The other 50% of your caloric needs will come from fat, muscles, and digestive system, okay? So what does this mean? The first thing is understanding that your metabolism is in every cell of your body. It runs through every, mitochondria, all that stuff. That's why Oshone, that's that picture that you see, that was a mitochondria picture that she chose, but it's, it's in every cell of your body. So this is something to keep in mind about metabolism, right? It's not just like just a switch you turn on and off. It's happening in every single cell in your body, okay? Hi, Jackie. Hi, Gardenia. Good to see all of you. So another thing to understand before we go into the myths is there are 3 types of ways your body uses energy, okay? So you have basal metabolism I just spoke about. That's going to be your largest account for energy. It can go between 50 to 80% of the calories you burn, okay? So that's crazy. Only 10 to 30% then comes from physical activity. That is important, but 10 to 30% comes from physical activity. So some people who are trying to, sometimes lose weight and exercise and over-exercise, but still they're not dropping weight, is because only 10 to 30% actually comes from your physical activity. And then there's another 10% that comes from your digestive system. So I talk a lot about this called the thermogenesis effect in your body. So I speak a lot about not drinking shakes all the time, all this stuff, because you want to stimulate thermogenesis in your body. So meaning if you have your total calories in your body, 50 to 80, majority of the calories come from what your basic metabolism is, okay? And then 10 to 30 is from physical exercise and 10% is from digestion. So what's really important is about your basal metabolism and then some of these other things that follow it, okay? So keep that in mind as well. So let's dive right into talking about myth number 1. I kind of mentioned this phrase before, but if you have fallen for this myth, then you can say, just put myth number 1 if you follow, you've fallen for this. So it says, again, this myth is, once I hit menopause, my metabolism slowed down and now I'm gaining weight. So this is a myth because your metabolism doesn't actually just slow down because you hit a certain age. Your metabolism actually stays relatively stable in general, relatively stable actually through decades, believe it or not. So you're like, wait, what? Really? Yeah, your metabolism actually stays relatively stable over the decades. And your metabolism is largely determined genetically. Yes, you can thank your mom and dad and your DNA coding, wherever it came from. Your metabolism is largely determined genetically. So genetically, it says you are going to burn basal-wise, 1,300 calories at rest. That's going to stay all similar or around similar ranges to that for decades. It's not like it's just going to bam, when you're young, it's like 2000, and then suddenly when you're old, it just went down to 1000. It's not like that. Your metabolism doesn't work like that. So what happens What happens with age, and why are you like, you're like, but I gain weight and I feel like everything is slower. So the truth is, it's not that your metabolism is actually slowing down. It's actually because when you think about it, when you get older, a lot of people think about your lifestyle, sit a lot more, they're working 12-hour days. I have so many friends who work 12-hour days. You're a nurse, you're doing different things, and you're sitting at your desk, you're an accountant. What happens? You have a much more sedentary lifestyle and you don't move as much and your body is not used as much. So your muscle mass starts to decline. And it's more an issue of not having enough muscle mass as you age. That's actually what's happening. It's not that your metabolism's suddenly slowing down, because lean body mass does have an effect on your metabolism. So I had mentioned this before, 1 pound of muscle mass burns about 52 calories. And 1 pound of fat mass burns about 2 calories. So there's a 25 times caloric burning potential in having more muscle. But the problem is, as people age, their muscle mass starts to decline and starts to drop off. So someone who, and you may have seen a lot of maybe older, fitter people, if they've been fit their whole life, they've been active, they've been training, they don't seem to struggle as much with some of these issues you guys are talking about, because by nature, if they've actually kept up with their training and their athletes and they've been doing different things for a long time, let's just say they burn 52 calories more per 1 pound of muscle. You times that by, now they have 5 pounds of extra muscle over years of training. That's 272 calories more at rest than you that may not have 5 pounds of muscle more. So they can just burn almost 300 calories more than you just by doing nothing, right? In terms of basal, I mean, they have to have lean muscle and train, but as basal, like just resting, they burn 300 calories, almost 300 calories more than someone who doesn't have as much muscle mass.